So I was invited up to Montreal. I was teaching at MIT, and the governor of Quebec invited a handful of us who are entrepreneurial practitioner professors to go up to Montreal, Quebec province and start to mentor entrepreneurs. And after a few years of that, I was invited by the Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation Montreal, that is led by a very good friend of both mine and Mario's, Serge Barassa, to begin to coach companies inside of his accelerator. And in one of the first classes, Mario and Prodago showed up. And I had the chance to work with Mario for 6 months. And as many people know, I've been mentoring entrepreneurs all around the world for decades. Mario was one of those very special entrepreneurs that you meet once every blue moon, who was completely committed. And it was very obvious from the day I met him. He was gonna solve this massive problem. He understood the problem, and he was gonna solve the problem. So it was the beginning of a beautiful partnership and a great friendship. So Mario bootstrapped his startup for a long time. And what I was so impressed by was his willingness to work as a consultant to fund his startup. But he never stopped. He was constantly on the road, interviewing chief data officers, chief regulatory officers, chief privacy officers, chief compliance officers. And it became very clear that he was really beginning to chip away. And his original going-in premise was, this is all about data governance. But as he learned, it wasn't. It was about much more, that most people that focused only on data governance never really got to see successful implementations. So there came this epiphany moment where it was very clear to me he finally got it, right? And he got it through just sheer force of will and an incredible willingness to travel and learn. And so we had an opportunity to get back together in Montreal for a workshop I led back in November of last year. And in that workshop, I started talking a lot about open innovation and open business models. And I could see at that moment, the light went off in Mario's brain. It said, this is how we do it. And so I think with that energy from that most recent interaction, we decided we would have a hackathon that would focus on these very scalable business model. So here we are, we're at Hult's San Francisco campus, and I'm one of the lead professors in our Masters of Disruptive Innovation degree program, which is a pretty interesting program and a brand new program at Hult, and I think a very visionary program. We also have another very interesting dual degree program called the Masters in Business Analytics. And I couldn't imagine two better cohorts of students to focus on the business of Prodago, the business model of Prodago, and to understand a lot of the applications of use cases of Prodago. So the decision was made to host this hackathon on the San Francisco campus only with our dual degree students, because their complementary backgrounds were perfect for what we wanted to do. And so we now have 3 separate challenges that are being run here just outside of this room. One of them is, how do we build a rapidly scalable open business model that will allow Prodago to leverage its platform and benefit from the collective wisdom and talent and creativity of hundreds or thousands of entrepreneurs all around the world as a way to really drive adoption. Second one is about in this new world order where artificial intelligence is becoming absolutely critical to every business and every industry. How do we apply Prodago's unique capabilities against really challenging enterprise AI projects and software development, right? And some of our M-band students are perfect for that. And then, as we all know, with all the news reports, the massive amount of money laundering that is taking place around the world in the dark web, regulatory regimes throughout the world care deeply about solving this problem. It's a massively complex data management, data governance problem. Prodago has a unique capability to solve this problem, but we still have to apply business logic. And again, I think our M-band students were ideally suited to solve this problem. So we're very excited. We've got teams that are deeply engaged. I've got world-class mentors that are helping the teams, challenging them, educating them, inspiring them. And tomorrow we've got some extraordinary judges that will be coming in, 4 from IBM's Open Artificial Intelligence Lab in Almaden, California, someone who runs an AI startup in Silicon Valley, someone who ran MIT's venture capital fund back in Boston. So along with the Prodago team and myself, a lot of talent and experience here to help guide these students to a great outcome.